Welcome to Library Collections Live, where I'm with Mrs. Cynthia Hoofenhofer. She has something unique to say about the latest addition to the Iowa Gold Star Military Museum. This reference book did something very unique, didn't it, Mrs. Hoofenhofer?
Yes, it did. Earlier today, while I was crossing the street, my child ran out in front of traffic, and the volume of America's military adversaries dashed out at its own risk and used its 621 pages, 10 by 7.5 by 1.6 inches, 2.7 pounds to run and intercept my child and carry her safely across the street.
Am I correct in what I'm hearing that this referenced bibliography saved your child from imminent danger?
Absolutely. When John C. Frederickson, an independent historian, the author of American Military Leaders, wrote this book, I don't think he had any idea of its true potential, and since it is published by ABC Clio, its reputation cannot be disputed.
So what is the scope of a book such as this, for it to make a choice to independently save the life of a darling 2-year-old girl?
Since it is a biographical encyclopedia of the various military adversaries, men and women who fought, plotted, spied on, and in some instances defeated U.S. forces, America has faced since colonial times from between 1700 and 2000. It must have felt the plight of humanity and realized the sacredness of life.
Surely this reference material cannot be that good to sacrifice its binding and pages.
Well, no one is without fault. This volume seems to be accurate and a good starting point for further research. The author has been reviewed to be fairly objective and generous in his descriptions. While the book is comprehensive, it does seem to fall short in a few areas, like its coverage of the Korean War, Vietnam War, Gulf War, and Somalia. These conflicts are not without additional materials available to supplement.
Incredible! Would you say that the internal organization bodes well for the researcher?
Yes. I believe that it was an internal organization of 223 entries for military adversaries of the United States, an appendix listing all by occupation, and an appendix divided by conflict. Additionally, a 50-page bibliography is provided as well as a useful index. Each of the 223 alphabetically arranged entries is a readable essay containing personal as well as historical information. Cross-references refer readers to related items. The bibliographies that follow each entry are extensive, offering a mix of primary and secondary materials. The volume concludes with appendices that group entries by occupation and by conflict. This is what allowed it to analyze and make a decision to save my daughter from certain death. For that I am forever grateful.
Well, I have heard that this volume was purchased for a mere $85, which includes, a portrait, a life and death date, a 2-page entry, and a See Also section that highlights other military figures.
Yes, it's quite a deal.
Formerly Senior Assistant Librarian at the St. Andrews University, Edinburgh, Casey Fraser said, "This substantial, if somewhat eclectic dictionary would be valuable to libraries with a particular interest in U.S. military history, but might be considered rather over-specialized for the small general reference collections, as the most prominent of the subjects can be found in other biographical complications." Would you agree?
Yes, I am just so grateful. I know that high school and college students, as well as good researchers, would consider this is a great addition to the collection. I can only hope they see and understand the true bravery of such a book as this.
Thank you, Mrs. Hoofenhofer, for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, we can clearly see what an upstanding book we have to the latest edition collection at the library, the Iowa Gold Star Military Museum. It will remain forever the book that saved the little girls from being hit by a car. I will leave you with this thought. What can we do for our fellow man?